In the news, Jamaicans are again being warned about a major estate problem. More than 50 billion in property is tied up because too many people die without wills. Here's what that means for you. If you own property, land, a house, family assets, or money in Jamaica, this is not just a news story. This is a reminder that it is not enough to build assets. You also need to make sure the people you love can actually access, receive, and deal with those assets properly when the time comes. Because when that part is left undone, what you leave behind is not just property, you may be leaving behind confusion, delay, and conflict. A lot of people still believe, my family knows what I want. My children already understand. Everything will work itself out. I'll deal with that later. But that is exactly where the problem starts. The mistake is not only dying without a will, the bigger mistake is assuming that what is understood in the family is the same thing as what is legally clear. It is not. Here are the mistakes people make. They assume family members will sort it out peacefully. They assume that because they said it out loud, it would be honored. They assume that because a child knows which house is theirs, that settles it. They assume they have more time, and they assume estate planning is something to think about when they are older, sicker, or ready to retire. But that thinking is exactly what creates the mess. So what happens when this is left undone? Property gets stuck, money stays tied up, families argue, assets sit in limbo, and in some cases, what should have been a private family matter becomes a long legal process. That is the part people miss. The cost is not only financial, the cost is emotional. The cost is relational. The cost is years of delay at the exact moment your family is supposed to be grieving, regrouping, and moving forward. Instead, they are trying to prove, argue, negotiate, and untangle. Let's talk about why this is such a serious mistake. First, when there is no will, you lose the chance to leave clear legal instructions. Second, informational conversations do not create legal authority. Once land, money, and family expectations are involved, disagreement becomes very real very quickly. And fourth, delay can destroy value. So no, this is not just a paperwork issue. This is an ownership issue, a control issue, a protection issue. And even if someone says, well, I have a will, that is still not the end of the conversation. The real question is not just, do I have a will? The real question is my estate planning actually clear, valid, current, and usable? Here is a better way. Do not leave your family guessing. Do not leave serious assets to verbal agreements. Do not wait until crisis forces the conversation. The better way is to create a clear, legally valid estate plan while you're alive, capable, and in control. That means thinking through what you own, who should benefit, who should handle the process, and how to make your wishes legally clear. That is what responsible ownership looks like. That is what protecting what you built looks like. That is what it means to act like someone who is serious about family, legacy, and structure. Because grown assets require grown legal planning. When this is done properly, your family has more direction. There is less room for dispute. There is less confusion about who is supposed to do what. There is less chance of your assets getting trapped in unnecessary delays. And most importantly, you create peace of mind now, not just for later. You are not just making a document, you are making things easier for the people you care about. So when you hear more than 50 billion is tied up because Jamaicans are dying without wills, do not hear that as somebody else's story. Hear it for what it really is: a warning, a reminder, and an opportunity to handle your affairs properly while you still can. If you have spent years building property, acquiring assets, and creating stability, do not leave the legal side unfinished. If you own property or assets in Jamaica and you know your legal affairs are not properly structured, click the link around this video to book a free 15-minute case evaluation call, or comment "boss" to book a free 15-minute evaluation call.